Hello. Hello to those who are and are not here. What am I doing today? According to my fun little title up there, yeah, right here, I'm going to be doing some experiments with alcohol, salt, and soap. I've only experimented with salt before when it comes to painting, but I have had alcohol sitting here for a while that I have not been using, except to clean stuff. I've got salt and soap I'll get, when I need it. But I've seen all of those techniques used in a variety of ways. And so I want to try doing some tests with that just to see like how they all look. So I want to at least do two different methods. I want to do one sheet and I'm going to tape it off, I think, in 5 different like vertical rectangles and try to do like a 2-color tone thing from the top and the bottom so it'll meet in the middle. And I'll do one with water, one with water with alcohol sprinkled on top, rubbing alcohol. One that I want to use exclusively exclusively alcohol instead of water as the base. A 4th one with salt sprinkled on top. And then the last one, I'm going to do soap bubbles, where you use like a straw or something, or just high pressure water and create a bunch of foam with dish soap. And then you apply some of it to the top and let it dry on it. And it makes all these like little bubble effects, supposedly. I've seen it. It looks like it works out really well. I'm not going to really be able to use the hair dryer with this because in order for most of it to work, it needs time for all of it to make an effect. You may hear a comment growling and he hears something. That's fine. I'll just let him play. Yeah, so I'm going to try out all of that and see how it goes. So let me scoot this to the side. We'll start prepping some of the things that we'll need. I might need to rearrange some things here to make some room. So I'll put this here. Get these guys. I'm probably going to use some pipettes. I'll be using water here in a bit. This should be enough paper towel from last time to clean up any messes and absorb water from my brush. This. I'm going to use the full palette today because I don't feel like messing about trying to do like any color mixing. Too much anyway. Do I have enough room to put this on top here? Maybe? No. We'll see. I think it'll be okay like this, but if I need room, I may have to tweak some stuff. All right. So my dirty water, I'll put back here. I've got some clean ones at the ready. I've got the paper towel for cleaning everything off. Go ahead and activate all my. I have no idea what I'm going to use. The salt I will put over here. Actually, put the alcohol back here. Get these pipettes off to the side for when we're ready for them. And then we need some paper. And then the last thing I think I'll snag is the soap. I want to wait till the last moment to grab those. Because obviously soap bubbles don't last very long. So I'll grab that the last minute right when we're about to put some on top. Paper. What kind of paper are we going to use today? Let's see. Come here. That use. Oh, that worked. I think I'll use some of that good, that 400 series Strathmore cold press. The only downside is not perforated on top, so it's going to be taking some of this with. All right. I've got the paper cutter. Yeah, paper cutter. All right. I'm gonna trim this off real quick because I hate having all the ruffles on the edge like that. It bugs me. By the way, if nobody has one of these and you need them, we got it dirt cheap, actually thrifting. I don't remember where. It was either Goodwill or Value Village. It's really the only places we go. But yeah, the used stationery section is really good at having supplies, paper cutters, the kind with like the big, like, guillotine style. That's a little scary. A little too big to be able to manage the up and down motion, but this is great. You just push down the little knob in here. It has a blade underneath. If you just slide and don't push down, it doesn't cut. You have to mean it, right? So put it up against one side, find where it's flat over here to get a good square on it. And where it's going to cut is in between this little line. It might be a little not far enough, and we'll see. Yep, that worked. Cut off a nice little, I don't know what you want to call that, hanging chad or something if you're a rotor. All right, so this out. Put this up. Don't mind me. Find my garbage and throw this out really quick. Yeah. Did it. All right. I never seem to really notice. I think both sides of the paper are exactly the same, so it doesn't really matter what side I use. There's not like a copper or like proud, like main facing on it. It seems to be the same on both sides. So at least I think. I don't know. I see a little bit more of the roller texture on this one side and less so on this side. So I imagine they want you to do this side up. Who knows? I don't think it'll really matter. Let's tape it down. Get a couple different colors here for fun. Okay. A ton of different options here. You'll see I've got a little screen here now too. If I ever want to have anything on display, like to use as a reference, I can put it on this touch screen now, which is kind of fun. Or if I want to do any like research and I don't feel like showing it in OBS on the screen over the top, I could just show something simple over here. I really like it's got a kickstand, so I can bring it forward over here and lay it not flat, but like a really flat angle. So you should be able to see it at the same time I'm playing around with stuff. So that'll be kind of fun when I get to it. For now, let's tape this sucker down. Be nice. Don't curl up, you jerk. All right. To work around the microphone here. Okay. And let's get another corner. That'll last way too much. We're gonna run with it anyway. That'll work. Okay. And let's do this top section right here. And right. And the last corner, or last side. Excuse me. Try to do this without smacking into the mic. Yeah, that's impossible. Let's do it from this side.
That's the way computers talk to each other.
Okay. All right. Not too shabby, I think. Let's do a little extra press down on the part that's touching the paper. Really make sure I don't leave any gaps so nothing seeps underneath it. All right. All right. And now for the fun bit I've never done. Trying to get 5 even rectangles across here. Okay, that's going to be fun. So let's break out a ruler. I don't know how I'm really going to need to be that precise, but for fun, let's just see what it looks like here. I think I'm going to go millimeters just to make the math easier. So from the inside of this tape to the inside of this tape, it's 29. Of course, it's got to be a weird non-round number. So if I wanted to split that into 5, let's break out my calculator because there's no way I'm doing this in my head. Let's see, calc. All right, we're doing 29 divided by 5 is 5.8. So nearly every 6, but it's not. It's going to be just below that. But we're going to eyeball it like 6. So every 6 is going to be a piece of tape. One here. One here. One here. And one here. I think that's pretty close to what we're going to do. I'll just do slightly left of the 6. Slightly left of each part. Maybe I'll put a tick mark in pencil on it. And then cover that. And then erase it later? Ooh, I hate that. Well, I can put it on the tape. Yeah, we can do that. All right. Pencil. All right. Okay. So we're going to do over the top of here. Can I see that? No. That's better. Big line. All right. 6, 4, 12, 4, 18, 4, 24. All right. And we're going to get as close to that as possible up here. So we're doing to the left of 6, to the left of 12, to the left of 18, to the left of 24. All right. And now, tape. Wait. All right. And pencil can go back. Now, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 different ones. May as well do 4 different colors. I haven't opened these yet. Do they have anything stopping you? Nope. You just start? Great. I like it. I've never used this new masking tape, so I have no idea how it's going to behave. So we're going to be learning together if this is any good or not. Whether it is or isn't, I will find out when we go to pull it, and we'll link it. If I can find the link to where we got this from. It's on Amazon, so it should be pretty easy to find. Okay, we're just gonna kind of eyeball that this is good like that. All right. Next. Let's do a yellow one. Cool. Let's go way over here because I don't feel like having to really battle with that. Is that? Nope, not even close. Okay. Okay. Looking pretty good. I like me some green, my favorite color. Not necessarily my favorite paint color, but I bet I'll find a really good green I like someday. Okay. Okay. That's quite nice. I like it. All right. And last up, let's do purple. Purple's always a nice, good color. What? Excuse me. My throat's just so bleh today. Okay. You will work somewhere around here. It's mostly even. Clearly not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. All right. That'll be fun. All right. Let's get our brushes over here so we can get to work. I'm probably going to use a wash brush to get these started, but I'm going to use this good guy right here. And then let's think about what we're doing. So to recap, I'm going to be using just water on this far left one. I'm going to do water with sprinkles of rubbing our isopropyl alcohol to see how that reacts. The middle one, I'm going to do nothing but a base of the alcohol. No water, because I just want to see how it reacts with watercolor pigment. The fourth one, I'm going to do water with salt on top. And this last one, I'm going to do water, and then after it's painted, but well before it gets close to dry, I'm going to use soap bubbles. I don't know if I've got a straw immediately handy. I'm sure I can find one and blow bubbles in the kitchen really quick and then bring it over here and put some on top, or maybe I'll blow bubbles over here. We'll figure it out, and then scoop some out and put some in particular spots. And then let all the bubbles just dry and pop and just do everything on their own. And we'll let this naturally dry as much as possible. Salt, I know for sure from using it, if you try to dry it manually with a hair dryer, it's not going to let the process work. The salt has to spread into the water to get that pop, that visual effect the salt does. So I'll leave it alone. So I'm going to do a wash of water, I think. And then I'm going to pick two colors and go from the bottom and the top and try to get it to meet in the middle. Maybe I'll do something else. I might even do two different colors per section to tell them apart so they look cool when it's done. I might do that. Um, and then we'll start putting our effects on as we go. So the first one's going to be easy, just water, two colors that I choose from the palette over here. Um, and then we'll work our way eastward. All right, let's get started. So I've got my water, check. I've got paint, check. I'll choose what brush I want to use once I'm ready to actually put something on it. My tape is held down. Seems like these new cinnamons are doing pretty well. So for the moment, I'll scoot them all over here just to get them out of the way. And yeah, let's experiment. So pick up some water. I think you can see almost everything. I might actually move the camera to the right a little bit so you can see the palette more, because there's a lot of dead space over there to the left. That is not the right direction. There. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Now you can see the whole palette while I'm working. And a bunch of side stuff. Cool. And I'm going to save this so my camera will go back to it a bit if I need to. All right. Okay. And let's get started. First up, I'm just going to do a good, solid, clean amount of water all the way down just on this one panel. Okay. Well, it looks like a good, clean, even amount, no puddles or anything, so that should be good. I'll leave that up here for now. Okay, and let's pick this guy. What colors am I gonna do on this side? All right. Eeny, meeny, miny. Let's go indigo today. Okay. Clearly one of my favorite colors. Let's start with some up here on top. Don't even need to go too nuts with it, really. Just kind of fill the space with different things. Okay. Let's pick something else for the bottom part of this. What goes good with indigo? He asked himself. How about a green? That sounds kind of fun. All right. All right. We'll let that play. Our next section is going to be water, and we're going to be sprinkling alcohol drops on it. So let's see what that's going to look like. So let's go ahead and wet our wash brush. This is a Princeton Aqua Elite. If anyone cares, Princeton Aqua Elite. It's supposed to hold a lot of water, so you don't have to keep going back for it, but I usually do because I'm stupid like that. So let's go ahead and bring some of the water in on this second panel now. Okay. Not too shad. All right. Let's pick two different colors this time. So this time I'm thinking, let's go a reddish color. Yeah, let's go red. I'm gonna pick on this guy right here. I don't remember the name. This is from that Mary Blue Generani set. It's the cooler color, not the warmer one. So it's got red with a little blue in it. And let's go crazy. Let's put a little going down this way. And let's find somebody else for the bottom of this. How about a yellow? Yellow sounds like a smart idea. Theme generating set. The yellow that it comes with. At some point I will find that set and I'll show all the colors and write them down somewhere. For now, this is fine. All right, let's hit it from the bottom, work our way up. And meet in the middle. Go forth and play. Merge. Do the thing. All right. Let that play. And while it is still wet, I'm going to hit it with some alcohol and see what it does. All right. Let me use this clean pipette to open up this alcohol. Oh, I dropped the lid on the floor. Oh, it's right here. It didn't go far. All right. Grab a little alcohol. That's way more than I'm going to need. And let's put a couple of drops on here. Whoa, it's immediately doing things. That's fun. Okay. Wow, that's neat. I've never done this before. That's actually really kind of cool. All right. Wow. Look at that. I don't know how well you can see that. Let's zoom this in a little bit and see what you can see on this. Yeah, check that out. Isn't that fun? It immediately took the color and like kind of bleached it. Wrong word, but it alcoholed it away from the center of each dropper. And it like pulled the color out, but it kept some in the middle and made like these little white rings. You see it on the camera way better clearly in the red here, but it did it in the yellow as well too. So when that dries, I think that'll look really interesting. So cool. We'll come back to that one. Let's take a look. I'll leave it zoomed in like this. Let me take a look at the next section. So this one's going to be weird. This one I need to do the pigment with alcohol, and I didn't think ahead. Again, stupid. I need to find a way to put alcohol in the bottom of something that lets me put pigment in it too. So what I might do is cheat a little bit. So I will zoom back out just so you can see this. Over here on the bottom of this, or top in this perspective of this silicone mat, are some wells for mixing color in that I've used. So they're all dry. So I can easily add alcohol to these to get color out of them and paint with them without messing up my palette in any way. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some, pick two of these colors, put some alcohol from the stopper, or this thing. Duh. I said the name of it earlier, pipette. There we go. And put it into two of these colors, mix it up really well on one, and then start painting with it. And then the same thing with the other. For this one, because I'm trying to do pure alcohol, I'm not going to do a wash of water first. I'm going to go, no, well, I could do a wash of alcohol and use a different brush. Sure, why not? I guess before I do that, I should actually look up, does alcohol harm watercolor brushes? How about we look that up first? Because I'm not in the market to be blowing a lot of money on brushes over and over again. Let's see. Is it safe to use isopropyl alcohol on watercolor brushes? While isopropyl alcohol can be used to clean watercolor brushes, it is generally not recommended as it can dry out the bristles and potentially damage the brush, especially natural hair brushes. I don't have any natural hair brushes. These are all synthetic. So that might be okay, but I don't really want to mess up my brushes. So what I can do is be smart about it. I do have some cheaper brushes here that I don't really care about what happens to them. These ones with the bluish teal handles. They're not as expensive as the Princeton ones. They came in like a multi-pack set. So I think I'm going to use these instead. So let me pack this guy up over here to the side to dry somewhere. I'll put him over here. And I'm going to use these brushes instead. Okay. Hiya! Let's get some alcohol. Fill that up a little bit. Now, who am I going to pick on? I've got an indigo. I've got a green. I noticed as they're drying, the indigo is pooling, so it's not really blending with it, but that's fine. Maybe I'll go back over it in another pass here in a minute. Colors. I think I've got like a blue metallic right here, so I think I'm going to put it in that. And maybe this greenish color. See what that is. All right. Let's find out what those turn into. You close up. Just scoot it over here for now. You are okay. Get out of my way. Thank you, sir. You are a round brush of that set. Come back to you. Let's actually do what I was planning. Let's do a wash using this. Can I get this in here? No, I cannot. So I will pour a little bit in the cap. Okay. And seeing as this is alcohol, I have a funny feeling I'm going to need to move quickly because it's going to dry way quicker than water will. Let's see what this does. I realize I'm still gonna have to clean the brush in water, so we'll see what it does. Okay. Whoop. Whoa, that's faint. Is that because of the pigment or because of the alcohol? I'm definitely probably going to be going over this a second time with something else. Or at least a second pass, we'll see. Accidentally dropped some of my little table here. Yeah. All right. And you go for the greenish one I've got over here. Looks kind of like the green gold, but I don't know yet. Let's do some manual mixing here in the middle because I don't think it's going to blend too well. Well, it's a thing. I don't know if I like it. It could be just the old pigment in here that's not playing well. I may do another one of these to the side just to see how it works with copper pigment from my palette. Copper pigment from my palette. I did not mean for the alliteration on that, but it worked, I guess. All right. You can go back here because the next one is salt. And that one I know is safe for my brushes because no salt goes on the brush. Let's close this up. Right. and scoot it back over here. Put some more. I love how the tape kind of like holds to itself and comes as a stack. All right, next up is watercolor and salt. So this one, I have the salt at the ready. So what colors do I want to do here? I've done greens, I've done blues, I've done reds, I've done yellows, I've done this weird off green color, I've done indigo. I've not done a violet kind of color, and I've not done an orange, and those are opposite each other. So I think those would work really well. So let's give that a whirl. At least I think they're opposite from each other. Oh, strong, picky. Let's see how that's gonna go. Just wet down this guy. Yeah. Totally unintentional that I didn't think about that, and literally the tape borders surrounding that box are literally orange or are violet and an orange. Completely unintentional. All right. Let's go back to our 16, 12, size 12 Princeton. Let's get some violetness from over here. That one is that one violet? It's so dark. I can't remember. No, that's blue. This one's violet though. And yes, we could technically mix our own, but I'm not feeling too much like playing with mixing right now. I'm gonna pull these right from the palette as they are, I think. All right, let's get some violetta going on over here. Oh, that's a nice, pretty violet. Grab a little more. Right, and touch more right at the border. All right, let's clean that up. And let's pick on an orange. I'll go straight for the only pure orange I've got on here and go with that. Get that nice and thick, buttery, as they say. Okay, and let's hit it from the bottom down here. All right, and get right up into it. Yeah, that turns a brownish color. I think we need to mix those two, so that makes a lot of sense. All right, and let's get some salt on it as soon as possible. This is a coarse kosher salt. The thicker the greens, I think, the better this tends to go, but I guess you can use anything you want. Some people put it on and they brush it off afterward. Some people, they kind of let it stick to it and leave it. You do what you want. I will figure it out as I go. All right, last up, this last panel. This is the one that's going to be funky. I need to do some soap and water. I think it can sit wet a little bit before I do that. So let me go ahead and get the painting part done first, and then I will go snag a container with some soap and water in and come back. My other half grabbed me a straw, so I will open that up and I will blow bubbles here on stream, and then we'll put some bubbles right on top of this and see how it comes out. All right, let's get this started. So what colors do I want to do for this one? There's straight up browns. There's I only have the one true like reddish color, so I can do maybe like a maroon or this really dark red color on one, and then I think I might pick on another blue color. I like how that sounds. All right, let's give it a shot. You go this way. You go this way. Let's work it in. Try that out. Let's get a little bit what did I say? This yeah, I like the color on this one. It's like I don't really know what, like a cranberry kind of red. Let's hit it from the top. Oh yeah, that's a pretty color. Right. And to clean that off. And I said some sort of blue. I think I've already got one in mind. All right. I'm going to go back to that preliminary blue set from Tenerani. There was a really beautiful kind of ocean blue kind of color. To hit that from the bottom. Oh yes, yes, such a pretty color. Kind of reminds me of denim. Has a very blue jeans kind of color to it. All right. And while that is sopping wet, I'm going to go get a container really quick and get some dish soap and water in it and mix it a little bit. And I'll be right back over. Okay. BRB. I have returned with soap. All right. Let me get my headphones back together. Oh, they're all discombobulated. Why did I do that? Let's see here. I need this to the right ear. There we go. And here we go. All right. Still pretty wet, looks like. Yep. And let's figure out the best way to open this without destroying the straw. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Sure. Ooh, coffee. Ah, awesome. All right. To blow bubbles. Like I'm a kid again. Whoa. Oh no, how am I going to get this off of here? I'm just going to use my hands. What a great idea. Oh, that's a stupid idea. It just pops. You're witnessing my stupidity in real time, Peel. Maybe we'll just, oh, you know what? I'll just use this guy. It's just soap. Okay, that's going to go nuts if I keep doing it. Not as easy as they make it look, folks. Of course, other people are probably using different tools to get this off. Oh, that'll probably work. Eh. Release. Release. Of course, it went right back onto the brush. What a maroon. You're gonna work. All right, that's probably about as much as I can get on there, but it doesn't have to be too widespread. I kind of like how it looks just as spotty as it is. All right. Yeah, it's fine. All right. Let's get this to the side. Thank you for your service. Soapy water. Let's put it in a safe place. With me around, that means nowhere, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to put it over here. And I'm going to move the straw this direction to point it away from my craziness. All right. And then I think we just need to let this sit for a minute and let it dry. Well, that's exciting. What are we going to do in the meantime? Suppose I can think about what I'm going to do next. So I had a thought after doing this experiment like this. I want to kind of see at the end what the textures look like for all 5 of these. Well, one I know, and I technically know the salt as well. Find out if there's anything unique or special about these textures. And then maybe lay out a piece of paper and do the same kind of thing. 5 panels like this. Doesn't have to be rectangles. I could always do different weird, like oblong, like different angular shapes. I actually kind of like the sound of that. I might do that. And then either do just big like swashes of different colors, or maybe make the whole thing be like one uniform, like space kind of theme, like a nebula, like I like to do, but do each panel of a different type, but one overall coherent image. Or maybe I'll do unique paintings per section and do whatever technique looks the best for that. I'll figure it out once this all dries more. But I'm definitely gonna let this sit. It looks like all the bubbles have nearly popped on this and actually looks really cool. I actually kind of really like how the soap one looks. Let me zoom this back in so you can see what I'm talking about. Focus. There you go. And then down. Yeah. So it looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like them all. The salt's not quite done yet, but you can see the beginnings of what it's doing. Around each crystal, you can see is kind of gathering up the pigment to the crystal of salt, and it's whitening the area around it because it's drawing that away, right? But as it dries, it kind of spreads that pattern around the salt out a little bit more. And then when you brush it away, you'll see the little specks of salt left these really cool designs behind. So those darkest spots in the middle is the salt. And when we brush that away, a little bit of the darkness remains, but it'll be mostly white in those areas and it'll look kind of cool. The bubble look, I'm loving. I've never done it before today. And I really like how that looks. The alcohol, I like how it looks, and I don't like how it looks. I feel like it's a matter of application. I don't know if I can brush it on and make it look better. That might be something to try in the next painting. Dropping it onto it seemed to work fairly well, but it was really big, kind of uniform drops because I was dropping it from that pipette and it was falling and hitting it. So if I could find a way to do smaller drops, I could do that. One thing I could potentially do is just like it's hidden behind something over here. Oh, this. Look at a couple more of these water little spray bottles. I could technically put some alcohol in one and try to do like a spritz on it, but I'm afraid of how wide it goes. It'll spray everywhere, right? I mean, you can't get away from it. That's what these little spray bottles do. But if I like cordon it off and I do like a spritz of alcohol on top of a water painting, I wonder if it'll do the same effect but smaller. We'll see. That being said, how are we doing for wetness on this? It was the second to last one I did. It seems to be kind of drying up already, but I think I want to let it go for another minute or two. The one that I am the least impressed with, well, this right here is my fault. I think I let the indigo pool in this corner. I seem to remember when I looked up at the camera feed, I saw that this was kind of wet right here. and I think it didn't allow it to blend like it should have. So that was all me. Don't blame this on the paint. This is a Bayer problem. This one, on the other hand, I don't know what happened here. Remember, I used that old pigment that was over on the silicone mat. Most of what was over there is from the watercolor ink set that I had put over there to use to keep it separate from my palette in the past. So it's possible that like the richness, the darkness of it, I'm using the intensity. There we go. The intensity of that paint was not as strong as something right from the palette would have been. So it's possible that painting with alcohol is feasible with a richer pigment. So I'm willing to try that again in the next painting, but just be smarter about it. So I do have a really large palette, which is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but it's really big and it's hard to use it on the desk along with everything else. So I might have to find another way to play with alcohol and a pigment, but I'll figure it out when the time comes. The salt one I really like. The soap one, I really like how that came out. It definitely needs to dry some more, but I'm liking where we're going. So I think let's give it a minute more. This is totally dry on this side. This one is totally dry as well, but it's a lot more rippled. The paper is more rippled than the water only side is. I don't know if that's because I might have used more water on the wash to begin with on this one, or if the alcohol did that. I'm thinking that's the water. This guy is all alcohol, and it's kind of just as rippled as this one is, so I can't really blame that. This is, yeah, it seems to be completely dry. And then this one is the one, I mean, there's probably still bubbles on it. Let me see. Yeah, I think there's still bubbles on this one, so I'm gonna let it sit some more. If anything, I may go hit it with a dry paper towel just once to pop any remaining bubbles that may be sitting, but I think it might be okay. But this one, yeah, I think Salt one has done as much as it's going to do. So if anything, I can yeah, I think I could probably brush that off. Nope, I think it's a little wet and I'm streaking it. I'll leave it alone, Brian. Brian, Bear, whatever. That's who I am. Yeah. Perhaps let it dry completely, and when I pull it off of this, I can brush it off over the trash can. Methinks that's what I'll do. But yeah, overall, wow, what a nice collection of colors. I think it's kind of cool looking anyway. I think we're at a point where I could hit it with a dryer. Why not? Uh, Alright. Get over here, you dryer, you. Alright. I think that seems to have done it. I'm going to go ahead and peel and then remove this to the over the trash can so I can. That's scary. Oh yeah, see this tape let stuff go underneath it. And I really did try to tamp it down too, so maybe it's not great for painting use. We'll see. We'll see on the next one. Could have been just me. Maybe I didn't tamp it down too hard. Oh yeah, wow, it really leaked underneath this really bad. It's fine. We'll say it was intentional. Except there's video evidence. I'm taking y'all down with me, you see? Alright. That takes care of that section. Man, why did I put the trash can so far away? Yeah. Right. The last side I did was that side, so you come with me. Alright. Next was the top one. Need to scoot the brushes over a bit. Right. Lesson learned, you go away from the paper when you're peeling. Because if you go toward the paper when you're peeling, you bring the paper up with you. Ask me how I know. Alright, this next one. Peel away. Peel away. Alright, and the last one. Ah. I did what I said and it still peeled the paper. I think I went too fast. That's fine. It's on the white section, so it'll be fine to disappear. Anyhow, though, I have to say, even with the leaking, it looks really cool. It looks really cool. Like, I'm really pleased with the salt one. I haven't even brushed all the salt away yet. All right. Oh, I made it. Wow. Who knew? Yeah, let me take this over to a larger trash can so I can brush the salt off of it, and I will be right back. Hi. There. They've been lucky to find those here at it. I'm just here so long, but what? That's just my first one, just an experiment. It's really cool. All water with alcohol dripped on top, all alcohol. Yeah, bakes. Salt on top of water, and then this is all water. I should. Right? I like the hash browns. We have returned. Get my headphones in so I can hear the music. And then you gotta check this out. I liked how it came out. Is that not pretty cool? The one on the far left, remember, is just a regular watercolor, no additions. This guy here is watercolor with alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, dripped onto it. Now that it's dried, you can see the yellow part of it a little bit more. And the red. Next up in the middle was painted with alcohol, so I couldn't really tell a huge difference. And without it focusing, it's not going to want to play nice to let you see what I'm saying. But when I look at it up close, I don't see an immediate discernible difference than using water. But again, I want to try it with pure pigment instead of using the dredges of the leftover paint from the silicone mat. I really need to just clean those out. The next one, though, is pretty cool. The violet and orange one had salt on it, and I rubbed off. There might be one or two pieces, but I rubbed off all the salt, and you can see it leaves a texture behind. Focus. Am I too close? Yeah, there you go. Check it out while it exists, while it's in focus. That's the violet. That's the orange side. And while we're here, the soap bubble. Soap bubbles one is probably one of my favorites. I'd never done it, but boy, does it look cool. It adds a lot, especially to space type things. I mean, not everything is bubbles, but I mean, if you've seen any nebula pictures, there's a lot of textures in there, and bubbles is one of them. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, let's set this aside and let's try something else. Let's zoom back out. I'm just gonna set that in front of my image here. I don't know that I'm gonna use this today, so I think I'm just gonna pull the screen cover over it without knocking it off, and then I can set this painting here and feel good about it. We'll leave that to the side. Let's get another piece of paper out, shall we? This time I think I'm gonna go with the paper that I used on Monday of this week. This is Master's Touch watercolor paper, cold press as well. I always get cold press for now anyway. 9x12. Let's peel off a piece of this. All right. Any glue residue? A little bit. Yeah, that'll be fine. Scoot this here. And you can clearly see on this, this was $10. They printed it right on it. All right. To whip out the tape. How do I do this? How do I want to do this? While I do like how this came out, you can see using this tape, I used 4 different colors, and I ran my fingernail along, and it still lifted up from the paper enough that once I went to paint, it leaked underneath the tape. Whereas the actual blue painter's tape doesn't really do that. It's not terrible, but I have to go into it with the understanding that there's going to be leaking happening. Don't read into that. So this time, methinks I will tape down the edges and maybe just let the 5 sections flow into each other and let them dry individually, but be on top of each other in a way. We'll see. Let's get to a tape in. All right. Right. One side down, 3 to go. Let's really stick this down since that's a pain point. All right, next, lengthways. All right. Gonna try to get right in the middle. All right. Same as before, really get it hard down on the paper side of the tape. There we go. All right. That must be a piece of salt under there. Oh yeah, there's salt over here a little bit. That's fine. Oh, I think I'll go grab some more paper towel here in a second too, because this one I gotta put a salt on. Well, not a bunch, a little bit. All right. Next. Let's scooch this guy over here a little bit and try to get halfway. That's not too bad. Okay. Just to rinse this brush off because it's been sitting over there near the salt. I don't know how I feel about that. Just shake it. Oh, you know what? I'll just, haha. Turn that inside out. All right. Oh, my posture is terrible. My back hurts. Let's grab some more liquid sustenance. Oh yeah, today's coffee mug is a Golden Girls mug. B. Arthur. Is that Pity White? Yep, Pity White. Room Canahan, and my brain is still Getty. Went stupid for a minute. You can't see it because this coffee's gone cold, but it's a color changing mug, and it puts their names in like little sayings underneath. All right. So what are we gonna do? I think I'm gonna go a little bit more freestyle, but keep the sections separate from each other. Because if I have time, I may even do a third painting and try to use a little bit of all of these things on one whole surface area to see how it comes out. Sounds kind of neat. All right, so for individual sections, I'm going to go a little more spacey and try to do like miniature nebulas, but I'm not going to cordon them off. And instead of laying down a layer of a wash of clear water, first, I'm just going to go straight on with a wet brush and pigment. So first section, I'm going to pick somewhere, maybe in the middle, and I'm going to do nothing but regular watercolor. So let me start with, let's go this guy. I think this is my, I'm forgetting. I think an ultramarine. All the paints are buried beneath stuff right now. I don't feel like digging them all up to get the names out. So I think this is it's either an ultramarine or a cerulean blue. I'm gonna do just a little bit here around the middle. And grab a little water. Send it out a little bit in some of these areas and smooth it a little. And hit it with a couple pops of it being really strong. All right. And then do a little bit of some indigo around that. Do a little donut hole right here in the middle. All right. I'll just start with that, and I think I'll smooth just a tiny bit more here in the middle with some plain water. pull some of it away. Got a little bit too wet. Yep. And then just a dab right there. And a tiny bit. Oop, 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 right there, just to make that happy. Yep. And I think I'll call that section right there good. Next up, I think I will do, let's do it in the same order that we did before, just in different spots. I'm going to do watercolor, and then I'm going to do some alcohol dropped on top of it. So let's pick another section. And let's do more of an orangey red. Just go really wild and just do whatever the hell I want with it. All right, and then smooth some of it out. And a little more clear. Okay, let's just pick a section to make a little lighter. Try to pull some of the color up a little bit. Yeah. And then I'm gonna actually pick on this from the Mary Blue set instead of indigo and just kind of hit around the edge here with that. All right, and then a little bit more indigo, I think. I'll hit here and here and the corner and a little touch right there, and maybe a little craziness in here, and then meet in the middle with this. Okay, yep, not too bad. I like it. Okay. All right, let's clean that up. We need to get some alcohol in here quick. So let's get the alcohol open, get the dropper ready. Okay. And let's just drop a little bit here. And just really go into it. Okay. I think doing that got a lot of different shapes in it instead of just dropping evenly. I kind of shook it like you saw, and I think it hit in a different way. There's some larger ones, some smaller ones, some grouping together, some separate from each other. When it dries, I think that'll look pretty neat. I will let that go. Now the lid is on. Next up, painting with pure alcohol. How am I going to do this in a way that doesn't look like shit? So benefits. Alcohol is not going to stay behind after it dries. So I could technically use colors already in the mixing wells and put alcohol in it and add to that, and then add additional pigment to it to make it really strong. I think I can get away with that. So let's give that a whirl. And remember, I don't want to use my good brushes for that. I'm going to use the cheaper ones because I don't care if I break those bristles. Same deal. I'm going to go with the biggest round brush I have in that set. So let me get that going. I'll get the alcohol back out. Right. Get the dropper at the ready. All right. What colors do I want to do? Well, I think I'll use this mixing well down here for the indigo color. And we haven't done green yet. Let's do some green. Worst thing that can happen in all of this is that I end up simply needed to clean out these two wells with some water and paper towels later on and wiping it clean. So I'm not feeling too bad about it. Okay, so first I'm going to touch in here. Let me see if I can just get some green purely by mixing what's already here. And I am noticing that like what was happening over there, it's having an effect of more cleaning it up. Cleaning it up. I'm sorry, I'm talking away from the mic. Cleaning the water, cleaning the paint versus mixing with it. So alcohol does not seem to be a very good base for watercolor, which makes sense. I guess otherwise they would call it alcohol color, right? But we're going to see what it does anyway. I'm going to try to break it up a little bit. It's leaving it very granular, so we're going to see what this look like. Yeah, all right. We're going to do it over here. Oh yeah, you can see the granularity really bad. It definitely leaves stuff behind. The liquid one from over there did better, actually, I think. At best, I can probably try to pick up some of this. But it's not doing too incredibly wonderfully. Wow, that's a thing. Try to get some right from the well and try to dab into it, make it a tiny bit better, but I don't know how well that's gonna help. Yeah, that's not grand. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Definitely does not work. So I won't be using that method anymore, painting with pure alcohol, unless someone shows me a better way. But let's get some indigo in here and at least wet my brush with a little bit of water from rinsing and then mix it into this alcohol and see what it does. Because maybe that's what it needed. Maybe I need to start with water on the brush and then mix it with the pigment and alcohol and see what it does. That seems to do a little bit better. Yeah, that still kind of muddy. There might be some of the color left over in that well, but yeah, not a fan. Yeah, not a huge fan of that one. All right, let's finish that slight fiasco and put some over here. All right. Get as dark as possible along this edge here, and then just kind of let it do its thing. Okay, let's clean that out. And I think just to help it blend a little bit, I'm gonna try to, oh yeah, that's just pulling up from the one below it. Yeah, shouldn't have messed with it. It's fine. I'm gonna leave that be. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Brian. All right. Yeah, don't like the alcohol method. All right. And ooh-wee, is that going to be fun to clean out of those wells? I'm glad I didn't really go too deeply into the pigment itself. That'll dry. All right, you go away. Well, that just didn't want to stay in the holder. Let's try that again with a little bit more direction. There we go. All right. Next up, salt. One of my favorites. Let's go yellow. Let's go yellow this time, yeah. All right. Got a nice yellow going on. Okay. Let's flip this over actually to a cleaner side. Excuse me. And try to bring some of this together a little more. Same as before, let's pick a spot to pull some of the color up from. Try to get it looking a little bit more white if possible. All right. And let's return to our ultramarine cerulean, whatever it is, color. Super accurate. I'm gonna run that along the edge. And along here, because we all know that blue and yellow make green. And go a little darker along the edge. Right. And then finish with some indigo on the edge. Okay. Right, and go right for the salt. Right. That is doing its thing, and let's hit this bottom corner. What's a color we've not done yet? We've done yellow, we've done blue, we've done reds, we got our primaries, we've got green, and we don't have any violet or orange. So we can look in those directions, perhaps. Maybe a little of both. No, we've done violet orange over there, and it turns to brown. So maybe we just go the violet route and call it with that section right there. Yeah. Go straight for some indigo. Yeah, looks pretty. We get a little bit more violet in there. Lost some of the darker violet in there, I think. Right. Yeah, let's get some soap on that one. it. All right, let's clean that up. Hit it with some clean water right there. Get that out of here. Excuse me. Put that back over here. I think we can move this to the side once more. All right. And then once again, we play the waiting game. So we'll give this a few minutes, let it settle. Clearly, most of over here has dried. This is still working. The salt is still doing its thing. Whether I go over this a second pass or not depends on when it's dry. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. If anything, I may just top up some of the indigo to try to make it more cohesive altogether, but we'll see. But coffee break. Drink it if you got it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Uh, I went ahead and cleaned out the tray and show it. Zoom back out so you can see where I'm at right now. I did a little cleaning in my palette just to clean up the area where the alcohol was because it was making the pigment separate. It wasn't not blending really well, which showed itself in this top corner up here, which is just a bit of a nightmare. I might cover the whole damn section up. We'll see. It's not like this is going on a wall. I reserve that for stuff that I really like, and clearly this is on the side. I like that one better so far. But some aspects of this I really like. I'm gonna let it dry completely before I give a full opinion on it. Went ahead and cleaned out my rinse container because it had a lot more of the alcohol in it coming off of the brushes. So clearly that was not to be kept. Uh, just rinsed thoroughly and put clean water in it. Got new paper towels, and more important than anything else, I washed my hands. I started getting some ink, or I'm sorry, some pigment on my fingers. Wasn't really paying attention. I didn't realize that it got all over. Um, Most pigments seem to be fine. They tend not to be too toxic anymore, but some of them had cadmium and other potentially like either like radioactive or maybe not so much the radioactive, but dangerous to life type chemicals in them. And so a lot of more modern paints are not made with any of those materials anymore, but you can still get them. And it's not like you want to eat this stuff right off your fingers, even if it's made with non-toxic stuff, because in essence, everything is toxic to a degree if you have too much of it. So I just thought it was a good idea to go and wash my hands. And then I can drink some more coffee because that's who I am. I am half bear, half coffee at this point. All right. So what are we doing next? I think we can dry this off, speed it up a little. I think the salt is probably doing as much as it can do. I can probably speed it along a little. So let's get some drier action going on. I'm going to turn my mic off and turn the music up so you can enjoy it. I might even change to something else. Let's see what we have here. Can I please get to my playlists? Can I get to my library? I can. Hooray! Let's do the Star Trek one. I always love this one. All right, enjoy. I hate to interrupt the D Space Nine theme, but let's carry on. So, where we're at. Drawing is done. I was gonna add more up here, but the tape is coming up from the hair drying, I think, and the curl of all the liquid on here, so I can't really add too much to it without it being a mess. So I'm just gonna call this one where it is. I'm gonna peel this off and go take this to the trash can and get the salt off of it, and we can try to look at it a little bit closer. Yeah. Come back. Right. That one didn't stick at all. Back corner. Hey, let go. Stop, stop, stop. Okay. Once again, peeling too quick and I'm peeling up the paper. All right. I missed. All right, be right back. Wow. Okay, okay. I missed it. Right. Right. All right. Hey, dude. Okay. what do we have here? Well, we have this. So top right corner, don't really care for. That is the painting with alcohol as the base. It just separates the pigment, so it just does not work. Alcohol is useful though, because this is regular watercolor with alcohol spattered on it. And I do like how this corner came out. Let's get it a little closer so you can see it. And focus. Yeah. So check that out. Spattering alcohol on the artist of the still wet painting does do something. So if that is a visual effect that you like, feel free to give it a whirl. Clearly, it's not going to be for everyone. And there's almost definitely better application methods than what I did. But feel free to give that one a whirl. Next section, well, yeah, in the middle, dead middle was just pure watercolor, and I covered most of it up by surrounding it with stuff, so ignore that. The top left is hard to see. I did not think about it, but because I did yellow, you can't really see a whole lot of the salt doing its thing. Also, because nothing wants to focus. Focus. Forward focus. Okay, well, it's not going to do anything I want, but... Oh, maybe... Focus. Nope. Okay, well, probably because I'm also zoomed in. So let's zoom out. Bring the light up here. Yeah, I don't know too much of that you're going to be able to see too clearly, but you can see the salt on that section. You can see some areas right there and below where the salt did its magic. Probably didn't work as well, one, because of the yellow, and two, because I used a hairdryer instead of letting it do its thing naturally, which would probably have helped it do more. However, once again, the gold star winner, the winner of the show, is definitely the soap. The soap bubbles on the bottom left here, definitely the coolest look. Absolutely adore how that comes out. It really makes a nebula galaxy type thing. Maybe not the galaxy, but the nebula thing really pop. And even without space, I think the soap bubble trick works amazing wonders. So definitely something to reuse in the future. Now, what am I going to do for the rest of the day? I think perhaps we're at 2 hours now. I am probably going to stop. I was considering doing a third, but that is just stupid overkill. And burning through all of my paper in one stream would be silly, right? I have tons of paper, but doesn't mean I want to use it all up all at once. So I think I will stop there to look at them one more time, put up some of our brushes while I do this. The one I just showed, it's a thing. I'm not super proud of it. Any direction I look at it is just kind of like a hodgepodge of 5 different things. I think if I did this third painting that I wanted to do, and I probably will in the future, try some of these techniques, definitely the salt and definitely the soap bubble method, all at once on one big galaxy type painting. In addition to that, I have used salt before, like I mentioned, and I did it on mineral paper. The mineral paper method, that looked really cool. I really like how that one came out. I'll probably show it at some point so you can see what I'm talking about. But it's on my Instagram. It's pretty obvious which one it is when you find it. It's obviously got a salted texture to it, but you'll figure it out, or I'll show you later. But interestingly, the first thing I did, I actually kind of like this better than this guy on the bottom. I'm sure if I had done this bottom one and did what I was originally going to do and had separated out the sections, it would have looked fine. But because I tried to get pig-headed and do them on top of each other, this half on the right didn't really work out too great. But the left half, I liked. I like how that one came out, which is why I'm going to use the salt and the soap method on something in the future, because I like how that section came out. So, yeah, I think that's it from me. Bear signing off. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see you later.